We have another preview today, and this will be, I am certain, just as, if not more exciting. We have the Cardassian Reklar. Let's see. Oh, this is the one that I can't read, can barely read. But that's okay. One of these days we will get previews with better readable text.
No, that was a year ago.
So here we have Cardassian, the Dominion Reklar, Cardassian Galler class. 4 attack, 1 agility, 4 hull, 4 shield, standard Galler class. It has 1 tech, 1 weapon, and 2 crew. That's 1 less tech and 1 more crew than its other counterpart or whatever. Pretty sure. 26 points. Lacks battle stations from its action bar, which is terrible, is why Galler classes had problems going out of style in the first place when the Keldons came around. However, the Reklar special ability is, as an action, place a battle stations token beside your ship. Each time you defend this round, roll +1 defense die. This ability is magnificent. No drawback whatsoever.
The drawback is it's harder to make a free action.
The good part is that you can get a battle stations off of this, and you can still have Gul Dukat give you another battle stations token. Because this is not a battle stations action. This is a place a battle stations token.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
I love it! I think it's probably cooler to stack scan tokens. Stacking battle stations tokens is nothing to scoff at either.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
rolling 2 defense dice.
Yeah, or this is a Gaylor I actually kind of want to cloak.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's unfortunate that it doesn't have a cheap cloaking device to go with it.
Doesn't?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's Keldon only, isn't it?
Yep. It's unfortunate. But I don't know, other cool things about this ship besides it being a darn all-around solid ship for 26 points when it probably should have been 28. If you get hit by that crit that doesn't let you take actions off your action bar, you can still get your battle stations. Which is kind of funny and hilarious. Because you don't really care about your action bar with this ship.
There's an action bar on this ship?
I know, right? You might take target lock if you are in that extra turn it takes you to turn around. Since you can't, since you might not be shooting out your rear arc, your rear. Not even rear arc, because it doesn't have a rear arc. But along with other cards in this pack, maybe you are. But yes, Reklar, solid all-around ship. I put it on par with the Keldon class, easy. The only thing their Galler classes were really missing was their ability to take battle stations. 4-1, 4-3 for the generic is a solid enough stat line. It doesn't die in one hit to the 6 attack ships that are trying to murder everything. It still has some evade, and it still has a decent punch for a 24-point ship if in the generic version. A shame it doesn't have battle stations for the Gallers.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just a little Klingon focused, but it's hard for me to give up an extra attack die.
Excuse me. But yeah. Solid all-around ship, and that is not even the best part of this pack. Can you just sit down? I'm doing a broadcast. Gul Madred, Captain and Admiral. We don't know what the Admiral side of him does yet, but he does, as a Captain, have an action. Target a ship at range 1 to 3. If the Captain on the target ship has a lower skill number than Gul Madred, discard that ship's Captain and Gul Madred. If the Captain on that target ship has a skill number equal to or greater than Gul Madred, that Captain rolls 2 defense dice if at least 1 battle stations result is rolled. At least 1 battle stations rolled, neither of them get discarded. It's hard to read that last line. Do not discard this ship's Captain or Gul Madred. 5-point Dominion Captain, has a talent slot, 7 skill, unique of course. This is the murder captain of forever. This guy single-handedly destroys entire strategies.
So Will.
So Tucker.
Now, are you willing to admit that Chang isn't a thing?
Yes, I'm willing to admit that Gul Madred is better than Chang.
Oh my God, is he ever? So, by the way, we haven't seen the Admiral side of Madrid, and there's a lot of speculation about how that's going to work. I think the most logical thing to assume, in my opinion, is that Madrid will, as a fleet action, whatever captain uses the ability is the one that compares captain skill and gets discarded, not Madrid.
Because, frankly, I'm not sure how it would work any other way. Like, would it discard Admiral Madred somehow? I don't know.
Yeah, that wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah. But the thing is, this guy is one of your cards that's going to be a metagame breaker. Before Madred, you could actually use some guys like good old fashioned Wayun and Sopek to pull off some really powerful combos. Gul Madred makes them obsolete.
Literally, the only card that can stop this is Lenalis or Centurion, but nobody runs Centurion.
Beverly?
Beverly, I'm pretty sure only works for crew. Goval?
Crew only.
Crew only? Figured.
I think so. Actually, let me check that one. Goval.
Goval's crew only.
Yeah, so there you go. So literally Centurion, which is so horrible that you should never run it, and Lenalis. That's it.
Oh, sorry. Well, you run Beverly with Lenalis.
And
that gives you
or Goval with Lenalis.
That gives you some protection. Gul Madred, of course, though, can also use some crew to captain protection. And it doesn't even need to be limited to those. Like, if it's the Admiral version that can discard other captains, you could use the crew that become captains, like First Officer, or the Hirogen, what's his name?
I don't know. Or the Ferengi, or the Kazon.
Oh, gosh.
The Kazon that cancels attacks by ganking your own captain seems really good with Madred, just saying. Because remember, guys, for those wondering how we're doing this over and over and over, keep in mind that anytime your ship would not have a captain, it is assumed to have a one-skill base captain. In other words, if you put 3 Romulan security officers on your ship, along with the first officer resource, even if you have no captain sitting in the chair, your captain will have a skill of 7.
Well, your captain will be your first officer, whoever that's assigned to.
No, no. The first officer doesn't become the captain. It just says the captain skill can't ever drop below 4.
Are you kidding me?
I believe that is the case. Let me look. Officer cards. Oh, for God's sake. Let me see the actual... How do I get Space Dock to show me the actual text of the officer cards?
Go to References.
References. Okay.
And there should be a little arrow or an eye next on the far side of the...
No, it's that one's under Resources. The problem is it doesn't...
Oh, you need to actually find the officer thing. I don't have my phone on me, but if you go to any ship, put a crew on it, then it opens up an officer tab. Or an officer option.
All right. But, the other thing I haven't figured out, by the way, and this is a thing. If somebody wants to post to the Facebook page, I cannot figure out how to delete a squad in Space Dock.
Slide it left.
Is that it?
Swipe left, and it should open up a delete option.
Thank you for telling me that. Okay.
It took me forever to figure that out for all of the rest of the Space Dock too. It's not really documented anywhere.
Yeah, that is super non-intuitive. Okay. Add a ship. Interceptor 5. Great, let's do it. Add a crew member. Daykanu. Sure, why not? Actually, I got Lenalis, ironically. Okay.
I know, right?
Back. Resource. Officer cards. This is way too... Why is this... Okay. Officer. Here we go. Okay, here we go. First officer. Whenever you perform... Blah, 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 blah. If your captain's skill number is ever reduced below 4, you may use the skill number on this card instead of your captain's skill number. Doesn't become the captain; it just replaces it. So that wouldn't stack. That would not stack with Romulan security officer.
It also would not work on... No, that can't be right.
No, it would totally work on Madred. He checks for captain skill, and this card says, hey, instead of captain skill, use 4.
Well, no, I was thinking that if you have a 1-skill captain, your captain skill hasn't been reduced to 1, you don't have a captain.
No, it's been...
But that would defeat the
reduced.
entire purpose of first officer in the first place.
Yup.
So it has to work that way, even though that's not the way that the literal interpretation of the text would be. Okay, this is table flip moment number 2. We're counting them, right? So Gul Madred does crazy things. I'm sure they will come up with some kind of rule that you cannot discard a captain that's not a physical card.
No,
Probably.
because that would make other parts of the game not work.
What other parts of the game?
I don't know. I'll think of something. You can't gank a captain who's not there, according to use the Herodian guy or whatever.
That hasn't been ruled either way yet.
That's what I'm saying, though. You can't have it both ways. If you can't discard a captain that's not there,
Then you
your
cannot
captain gets
discard a
discarded.
non-captain to him either. Yeah,
That's correct.
fair enough.
And that has to work because that's basically the intention of that card.
Thought the intention of that card was to kill your captain.
No, if your captain skill ever if your captain skill ever gets reduced below a certain number.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, man.
We're going to move on. We all know Gul Madred is insane, and he is going to murder everything. There is no longer any kind of tactical play you can make with Sopek or Wayun. They're out the door and unusable.
Yep.
By the way,
Welcome.
I like
Go ahead.
Shinzon with Madred. Use Shinzon, get his talent out of the way, and then chuck him out the airlock.
Use Gen Con to chuck him out the airlock for pretty much any captain. Use any captain with all of your plus bonus things. I mean, this is going to be the arena all over again.
Also,
Yeah.
oh man, do I need to pull out the Amok time music? This
Gul Madred should have been a Gorn Admiral, damn it.
I could see that actually. Actually, true story. I was telling the guys this earlier. I think like a couple months back on the show, I was thinking of doing custom Battlestar Galactica cards. This was down to the point cost and captain skill of the captain's side. If his captain's guide gives +2, this will be exactly the card I made for Helena Kane.
We love airlocking captains.
We love airlocking captains. But no, this is just one more card that encourages you to run naked Borg and naked fighters.
Mm-hmm. We're going back to the Wave 1 days when it was only naked Klingons. Now, it wasn't even naked Klingons. They had captains, but...
We should probably think of a word besides naked, actually. That's not...
Unmanned. We're sending in the drones.
No, that's
Unmanned drones.
That's not great in this context either. There we go, rookies! Yes. Rookies.
Fine,
yes, very
rookies.
nice.
All right. Moving on from that game changer, we're going to Gul Lamech, 3-point Dominion captain, 4 skill, has a talent slot, which is kind of nice for such a low skill captain.
I think that's like the first Dominion captain below skill 5 that has a talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is 1 point more expensive though to make up for it. When attacking a ship whose captain has a lower skill number than Gul Lamech, gain +1 attack die against that ship. This is the anti-rookie captain.
Yeah.
Let's see. Question here is, how does he interact with fighters who have no captain?
They have a captain skill.
They do, but this is specifically a captain with a lower skill number. Because they have ruled before that fighters do not have a captain. For that case, how does that work? Does that work the same way with the Herodian 8-point car? We're gonna leave that for now, but let it suffice to say, Gul Madred, he's not a bad guy. He's good. He's good anti-rookie, and plus an attack die is never anything to sneeze at.
True.
No, I mean, hey, you see guys run it. I mean, there's a Klingon that gives you one for a power token.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a Dominion that gives you one for a power token.
Maset.
I mean, look,
Yeah,
this
Maset.
is against. Look, I say Valdor is one of the most underrated captains in the game. So run Lamech. He's just about as good in this meta where nobody runs captains.
Mm-hmm. It'd be nice if his cost was 1 point lower, but can't have everything.
Yeah. Well, hey, find ways to boost them up with fleet captains or something, and
More
then you
Romulan
give
security
Rock-
officers.
Throw them on a mirror ship, put crew Garrick, and there you go. He can be a skill 10 pretty, well, not easily, but with a matter of points.
He'll have his uses.
Mhm.
And last but not least, maybe least, Gul Asset. Captain, 2-point Dominion, 3 skill. If you damage an opponent's hull with a crit, you may search the damage deck for a power disruption or a minor explosion card, instead of drawing a random damage card. Reshuffle the damage deck after you are done. I like anything that gives you power tokens for an attack. I want to set her up on Bioship Alpha. But besides that, not a terrible ability.
And she's really hot.
Is this the one that tried to seduce O'Brien?
No, that's what was
a
her
different
name?
one.
It started with a Q. I don't know, but seriously, if you don't think that this chick is hot, look up Linda Thorson, because that's who that is. And if you don't know who that is, then you clearly didn't watch The Avengers, and I don't know if we can be friends.
You wouldn't judge a person by their spoonhead, would you?
You're not a fan of The Avengers, are you?
What? I'm a fan of the Avengers.
No, not the Marvel Avengers, the British TV series from the 60s.
The heck is that?
Oh my god, it's like it's James Bond but better, basically.
Gotcha.
That's like people who don't know what Get Smart is.
I know that
Thank
one.
you.
God World.
And
Even
I'm
you,
not
Tucker.
talking about the one with. Anyway,
Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's. Okay, good ability. I like it.
yeah, giving out power tokens is fun. Look at Brunt.
Eventually you will run out of power disruptions, but hopefully not fast enough.
Well,
Yeah,
minor
but
explosion
that-
isn't bad.
Dead. And Minor Explosion is not a bad card either. So
Moving on to crewmen in this pack. We have Korak, 2-point Dominion crew. As an action, increase your captain's skill number by 3 until the end phase.
bleh.
I mean, hey, look, I would have said it was pretty bad, but in this pack, it clearly synergizes with Lamech and Madred.
Yep. It'd be hard to get double actions out of them. It definitely goes with Lamech, but maybe not Madred as easily.
Something Martok.
Klingon
Yeah, but
Cardassian Alliance.
I love Martok, but he cannot be the answer to everything.
Something Tiny Prize Leonard McCoy.
Yep, there we go. That's a good one.
Okay. I still think I'd rather have him be a discard besides and not be an action.
Yeah, but at that point, he's basically movie prize Nyoto Uhura.
So
Yeah, it was pretty similar. I remember this. She was pretty similar for the 2 captain skill. And we also of course have Enterprise E Riker.
yeah.
Or what's it called? Matter of Honor Pog Riker.
Does he do a crew thing too?
He does a captain skill thing.
Oh, gotcha. I had to flick him again. But yeah, so for 2 points, takes an action. I don't know. I'd still rather have a security officer, which is 1 skill for no action ever.
Yeah, I mean it's not unplayably bad. It's not a top tier of stuff. I could see it getting run at some in some janky build, but
It has a niche. I just don't know what that niche is.
yeah, something like that. That's a good way of putting it.
Next up, we have crewman Glenn Tajor. Glenn Tajor. 3-point Dominion crew. When attacking your ship at range 3 during the roll defense die step, you may discard this card to force your opponent to roll 1 less defense die.
Who cares?
What?
This is so bad. This is so awful.
This even costs more than Tomahawk. Do we remember Tomahawk?
No.
At range 3, your opponent doesn't get the +1 defense die?
Yep.
Yeah.
He came with, what was he? Was he with the base set? I don't even remember.
Who cares?
I think he's within the Valdor, but yeah.
Yeah,
Either way,
the 3 skill captain that made Romulan captain that was kindling. Fire.
This is so bad. This card is so bad.
Yeah, never use this card. Toss it away.
Don't
and never
ever
look
use
back.
this card.
Moving on to a better card. 4-point Dominion weapon. Not to be confused with dorsal weapons array. This is aft weapons array. 4 attack, range 1 to 3. Attack, disable this card before this attack, so it doesn't require a target lock. You may only target a ship that is not in your forward firing arc with this attack. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Dominion ship with a hull value of 4 or greater. It's nice that people are getting more abilities to attack outside their arc. That can only lead me to believe that eventually Klingons, Romulans, and every other faction will get this, or else you will never see them played.
Yeah, this is kind of bonkers. I mean, look, people were already playing dorsal weapons array, and this is just straight up better.
Works great on your Keldons and your Galler classes. Not that you'd run a lot of Gallers besides the Reklar. But it also does pretty spectacular things with the battle cruiser and battleship.
And the Breen ships.
Oh, Breen is a hull of 4 too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Breen might actually be a thing, except the fact that they still don't have battle stations.
Yeah, but what's their maneuver dial like? I don't even know what their maneuver dial is like.
Basic Klingon.
Oh, really?
I believe the hard 3s are white, but it has a red 3 come about.
Okay, now hold on. I'm just gonna look at these ships and see if I want to run any of them. Okay. Oh, Rav Lerst is ridiculous with this.
Really?
Yeah,
sensor echo?
I like sensor echoing with 360s. Sure.
It could do a thing.
Barrel roll.
Does not help the poor little Jem'Hadar bug at all, sadly.
Unless it's flagshipped, but why are you doing that?
Flag bug. What other Dominion ships are there? That's all the Dominion ships, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. They Dominion, I think, more than almost any other faction besides... no, I lied. Dominion just has a lot of ships that are the same. I don't know why.
Another good reason to put this on Breen is the Breen have a lot of extra weapon slots, and they have good old Thought Gore, reducing weapon costs.
That's true.
There's fun things that can be done. I still probably rather put it on, probably specifically a battle cruiser, more so than the battleship.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is a straight-up Keldon weapon. I was saying to the guys earlier, I can run 4 Keldons with 4 of these and still have 8 points per crew, which, especially with Officer Exchange, you have some very good options.
Indeed. So, very solid weapon. The Dominion's equivalent of the dorsal phaser array, not quite as powerful, but also quite a bit cheaper in most cases. And can hit you at range 3. Good old range 3. Yeah, pretty strong card, I think. I think we have one more set of cards to go through. Let's see. Tech and Talents. Subspace Carrier Wave, 4-point Dominion Tech. Action, discard this card to target a ship at range 3 and roll 4 attack dice. For each hit or crit, disable 1 captain or crew upgrade of your choice on the target ship if possible. I guess it's alright, but why wouldn't I use Madrid?
I mean, yeah, I hate the range restriction on this. I could see it. The reason I would rather use this instead of Madrid Whale is I don't necessarily want to discard my captain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Madrid, to a certain extent, you're going to have to build around. But this, I can toss this on any ship, and it'll be honestly pretty bad because of the range 3 thing. If it didn't have that, I would toss it on as filler, sure.
There's a reason we don't run Chang.
No, the reason we don't run Chang is because he requires 2 actions to work.
But he can keep working, damn it. This one you get 1 shot. This is like a poor man's Jennifer Sisko.
Okay, look, would you run a card that said action, target a ship at range 3, that ship attacks last this round?
That'd be cool if it wasn't for the fact that for the same reason why Chang had problems, if it's a higher captain skill than you, you just re-enable your captain.
No, you don't, because now it's disabled. Oh, yeah, right. Because of the way the rules... That is a really weird rule, and it's really counterintuitive to me.
Mm-hmm.
For those who just had the same confusion I did, the ruling is not you go in numerical order. It's you go to the next lowest skill that has not already gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which is because, and that's important because let's say I'm skill 7 and I disable a skill 9 captain. That captain actually then gets to go.
That captain is in fact the very next captain because one is now the lowest skill that hasn't gone yet.
Right. It's a weird quirk of the rules, and I actually think it makes for worse gameplay.
It would be interesting if then they didn't get to go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be broken. Not
No,
only would
it
it be
would make
broken, Chang would be broken. Do you really want to break Chang?
No, because Chang, you have to work so incredibly hard to make it work. Also, I feel that even if somehow you get Chang to work every single turn, I think I fire last and you also fire last is a fair card.
Where do you get I fire last and you also fire last?
You have to disable Chang to use him.
No, you don't. You have to spend a target lock to use Chang.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, that might make him a little too good.
So at the start of any turn in which he can get in range of a higher skill captain, that captain loses his turn, but a lower skill captain would not. That'd be a little too silly.
Okay, yeah. Well, I negate my turn effectively to negate your turn. I think might be fair.
And it's not like you can just go against the laws of physics. I have suddenly encased your ship in a subspace bubble. Your ship does not move this turn, even though it could not move on its own.
Oh.
Which
Yeah,
okay,
I see your point.
On the other hand, we can also do the same kind of shenanigans we were talking about. You can use this on your own ship. Who knows why you would want to do such a thing?
Yeah, that's kind of a good question.
I disable my own captain so he can move first and bump into your higher skill captain. I don't know. It seems like kind of a very long roundabout way to do a very small part thing that you could do something else with.
Yeah. Okay,
But,
I'm fairly convinced this card is pretty bad.
Next up, we have talents. And it's kind of interesting because we actually have some more not too terrible Dominion talents. Standard attack formation, 4-point Dominion talent. If your ship is within range 1 of 2 other friendly ships, when you initiate an attack against a ship that is in your forward firing arc of all 3 ships, you may discard this card during the roll attack dice step to gain +2 attack dice for that attack.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about with not terrible talents, because this definitely ain't it.
Doesn't require an action, doesn't require a disable.
It is so incredibly specific. Let me put it this way. If you're fielding 3 ships and your opponent blows one of them up, this card is useless.
Yeah, assuming you have this on the person who's not firing first, there is that possibility.
Yeah, but you're going to put this on your highest skill captain.
You have 2 fighters next to him.
And you're going to pray that your opponent isn't running mines because now all of your ships are grouped closely together.
Range 1 isn't actually grouped that close.
It's close enough that one minefield will hit everything. That's close in my book.
Yeah.
If you drop the mine, if you're talking about cloaked mines and you drop them, I still have my chance to attack, and then everything can turn. But I mean, that was a problem with cloaked mines to begin with. It's not a new problem.
Okay, what about multi-kinetics?
Multi-kinetics.
Well, that just X face on everything.
I don't know.
I mean,
Look. Okay, yes, it is 2 attack dice, but you have to discard it, and I think it's pretty specific. I am not a fan of this card.
Okay, but if I can roll 7 attack dice off of a Keldon with Ducat on battle stations and target lock, I'm rolling 7 hits.
And Bohica.
Yes, David, we know how well you roll.
How well that worked.
You don't even have to roll well to get 7 hits off of that.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm just saying that even if, first of all, you have to use this with 180 arcs.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, very easily, I can make this so that one of your ships is dead, and it's quite possibly a Borg ship.
7 hits doesn't kill anything except the scout cube.
No, I'm talking about with all 3 of my ships attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you only get this on one of them.
That's fine. You still got 3 ships still attacking.
I'm okay with 3 Keldons and or Galers. If I have 2 Keldons and the Reklar attacking, all with battle stations, I'm going to kill... I can probably kill a sphere.
Okay, granted all that, but the other major concern I have is that if your ships are grouped closely together, even if they're not all pointing in the same direction, no, they have to be pointing in roughly the same direction for this. It is extremely easy to outmaneuver them.
Take into account that this also can boost Energy Dissipator into ridiculous levels.
Yeah.
A 5 dice Energy Dissipator? Cloak ship, even a cloak ship's going to get hit by that.
There are just better ways to do it. Let me put it to you this way. I would rather have Kaplach.
Can't take that on a Dominion captain, can you? I thought that was Klingon only.
It is Klingon only, but this is not Dominion only, so I'm thinking about it in other places.
Well, you know what? Why not take both with a fleet captain or Garrick?
I guess. It's just... is Kaplach unique?
Yeah. Every talent is unique after wave like 4.
Except research mission.
Just about, yeah.
Except
yeah.
research mission.
Kapla is unique.
Research mission was not released in a wave.
Neither was Kaplach, for that matter.
This works with Gelnon.
Yes, that would work with... Okay, you know what? It working with out of combat phase attacks makes me like it a lot more. I did not notice that.
Mm-hmm.
+2 dice if there's no defense dice and no cloak and no evades and no a lot of defensive abilities. That makes me happy.
There's lots of cool things.
Yeah, especially if you can do this with perfect information regarding movement. In other words, if you put this on a fairly low skill guy, so you'll get your out of combat attack before the other guy has the opportunity to move. I could see that.
Definitely, so it definitely has its uses.
Yeah,
I would like it better if it was 2 or 3 points, but this can be a card that can be used.
Yeah, I guess so.
Especially considering the lack of other decent, Dominion talents.
Yeah, the best other one they have is invaluable advice. which is the one that they can discard to get a battle station token. And that's not great. So,
Coded messages.
yeah, kind of the complete opposite card of standard attack formation.
Yeah. Will?
Sorry about that. I was muted for a second. Coded messages.
Yeah, coded messages.
5-point Dominion talent. Action. Discard this card to target one friendly Dominion ship that is not within range 1 to 3 of your ship. The target ship immediately performs an additional maneuver listed on its maneuver dial with a speed of 3 or less. Place a battle stations token beside your ship and the target ship. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Dominion ship. There's a cool one. I like it.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. Putting 2 battle stations tokens down is pretty good. Here is the major discussion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the way this works is you can grant a red maneuver to a ship with an auxiliary power token with this, right?
There has really been no previous way to do it, but there's nothing against it in the rules.
That's sort of what I was thinking, because it does say that your opponent only gets to pick if you reveal a red maneuver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did make that ruling on Transwarp Drive that a granted maneuver or a changed maneuver is different than a revealed maneuver. So it seems like I could use this to make a giant U-turn with Keldons, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. I see this more. I see this being more useful with a pincer kind of formation. If your secondary squad is a little farther than you thought than your main squad.
Yeah, I mean, well, the primary thing I see this is used for is the double battle stations is super nice.
Oh yeah.
You can also use this to slingshot really effectively.
Yeah, fairly effectively. Has to
Keldons
be
are
not
fast.
within range 1 to 3 of your ship.
I could easily set it up that a 5 forward would take me out of range 3. Like if I deliberately set up with that in mind.
That'd be interesting. I mean, that still wouldn't be enough for you to catch up to it. Well, plus its original maneuver.
Think about it diagonally. Don't think about it with one behind.
Yeah, even so. I mean, it's a little iffy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'd wanna test it out to see if it. Let me put it this way: I have not tested this out.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to play test to see if I could slingshot with this. I feel like you can. I like it. You know, it does crazy things and it gives you battle stations tokens. What else do you want?
It gives you it replaces itself with an actual action you would have wanted to take in the first place. So
Well,
I
not
like
just
these
that,
kinds of cards.
it gives it to somebody else too.
Exactly.
This is another one I really like for peak performance because it lets your reinforcements catch up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the opposite of faked messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. I like it. I think it's a solid card. Again, I think it might be a little overpriced, but I mean, if this extra movement is something you need and you can't get it from anybody else, I mean, it replaces itself. It gives an extra action to another one. This price is about right for a solid card. Maybe not an overpowered card. If this were like 3 points, I'd run it on everything, even though I can only have one. But yeah, code message is pretty good. Once again, of course, the real star of the pack, Gul Madred. You need this card. Go get it.
Aft phaser or aft weapon. The shooty out the back one is my you need this card for the. Oh my god, you know what I'm saying.
I think after weapons array is okay. I don't think there's enough Dominion players out there that really care about it though. But it would be fun. I just don't see a need. If I were to equip my 3 Keldons with this, I would need 3 Reklars, and I never see myself running 3 Reklars. Or just 3 Galers in general. It's one of those things that you buy a pack for one card. This is you buy a pack for like 4 cards, but they're all unique.
Except the one.
Yes, except the one.
Yeah, if Breen were even halfway decent, I could advocate 2 or 3, but they're not. And the battleships, I mean, the battleship and the battle cruiser, you already have dorsal dorsal weapons array, whatever the dorsal weapons array, and that gives you 3 dice. Those came in the Coronac,
and they work with everything. They're not limited.
They work with everything. Is it worth buying multiple packs to get 1 more dice?
For 1 more point, I like it.
Point?
You guys are talking up the mirror dorsal weapons array all day, every day, and that only works out to range 2.
That's also only 2 points.
Well,
but here's the thing, right? You were getting those as part of a blind buy. Here we're talking about spending $10 to $15 on a ship. And I can't advocate spending money for 1 card.
Okay, all right. Just let me ask you a question, okay? Let me ask you guys a question.
Let me ask you something.
How many Praetuses do you own?
5.
And
was that more or less than you expected?
I'm not even going to touch yours, Will, because I think it speaks for itself. Now tell me, David, did you get those 2 Praetuses because you really wanted to run double Praetus?
I have run a Praetus, and the second one was solely to get cloaked mines.
I'm sort of just saying.
I will get a second pack.
All right, Tucker, are you trying to tell me that aft weapons array is as good as cloaked mines?
In all seriousness, it could well be.
Tucker, when was the last time you got your head examined? I'm worried about you, man.
Here's my thing, though.
I value 360s. What can I say?
But in the realm of cards, you already have dorsal weapons array that are 3 attack dice, range 1 to 3. If that card doesn't exist, then I'm with you.
It's just, I understand what you're saying. It's just, as somebody who started this game playing Federation, the difference between 3 attack dice and 4 attack dice is bigger than a lot of people think.
Well, yes. But as somebody who plays Dominion and is used to 180 arcs, it's not worth the coverage at $10 a pop.
All right. Look. What we're doing here is we're comparing gameplay value to money, which is a rough comparison to make.
If I could have all of these for free, I would take 3 of them already.
Right,
yes.
Exactly. Like, this is clearly a better card than dorsal weapons array.
So let's go with just in this wave. Tucker, would you rather have 3 Reklars for 3 aft weapons array, or 3 Gornaris for 3 of the shields?
Easy, aft weapons array.
Cool. I'll get my 3 shield screeners, and we'll see who we'll go at it in the next match.
Sure, because I'm going to be running Keldons with fighters. How's that going to work out for you? I mean, that's the thing.
I'm going to bring 3 Valjans.
No, you're not, because that's unique.
I'm not. I really am not. But
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing, is that part of what makes this so good for me is that this gives a 360 to a ship that was already really good in this meta. Do you see what I'm saying?
Which one? The Keldon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, again, the difference between 3 to 4 dice is very substantial for me. Like, to me, every single... Because the range of attack dice in this game are effectively 3 to 6 plus. Because once you get above 6... Once you get 6 or above, you're really in one-shot territory no matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, conversely... anything below 3 doesn't really count. And then you've got, trust me, I ran the Equinox. It doesn't count.
Poor
So
sucker.
then you've basically got 3, 4, 5, and 6 plus. And the difference between those individual steps is huge. I mean, this is part of why this is why Vorchas are so much better if you can afford them than Katingas if you can only afford to run the same number. What is that noise?
Sorry, that was my... I have a comb that I'm playing with while I'm pondering what you're saying. If you had... Okay, so if you had... So what if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that let's not even make it completely even. 3 Vorchas is better than 4 Katingas.
I don't know about that. That would depend a lot on the individual people playing.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 Vorchas is straight up better than 3 Katingas. Those
Well,
points,
obviously they have more stats all around.
No, they don't actually.
Katinga's 4143, Vorchas 5152.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. If you're not cloaking, then they're even except for attack dice.
Katinga has 4 hull.
What?
Oh no, 4352. I gotcha.
Yeah, right. So if you're not cloaking, they're even except for attack dice. And what I'm trying to say is the extra 2 points for that extra attack die is one of the best values in the game. To me, 2 points will buy you any stat, but not all stats are created equal. A 2-point increase for attack die is so much more valuable than a 2-point increase for agility or shields. That's not even funny.
I will buy that. I will not buy it on a secondary weapon. Unless it's something like Dorsal Phase Ray that never requires you to disable it.
I completely agree, but this isn't a 2-point increase, it's a 1-point increase. And for 1 point, I feel that's really worth it.
I don't really run the Dorsal Weapons Array either, so...
Well, that's the thing is, I don't run it because 3 dice is too low for me. 4 dice is the cutoff point for me for things like that.
But you think that's enough to put it on par with cloaked weapons and the screening shields?
Maybe not cloaked mines. I mean, that might be a bit of an exaggeration. But in this meta, yeah, I think it puts it on par with improved deflector screens because improved deflector screens, just by virtue of running it, you are cutting yourself out of at least one fighter.
Cool.
It's good. Don't get me wrong. That card is bonkers good. But the opportunity cost for running it in this meta is extremely high. In a meta without fighters, absolutely take the improved deflector screens every single time.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, that is going through both of our previews today. For news, I mean, we did just go through 2 previews. There should be a 3rd one up next week.
ISS Enterprise.
Gamma Trade Show happened. What was it? This last weekend or the weekend before?
Well, it was during last week.
Yes, and we found some cool things out from it, didn't we? David, you have the information on that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they had ship bases there. They had ship pictures there.
Yeah, for those who are curious, we know the stat line of the ISS the ISS Enterprise now is the same as the Teeny Price.
Yeah, and the ISS Avenger, and the Prometheus, and the Pegasus, and all of that's around somewhere.
Facebook,
Board Game Geek, etc. The more interesting thing, and I got this because the game store owner of my friendly local gaming store, Gameplay, was at Gamma, went to the WizKids presentation, and WizKids is changing up organized play just a little bit. They are only going to be doing 1 storyline OP per year going forward.
Short storyline OP or long storyline OP?
That they didn't say.
Interesting.
So for this year, we're getting 2. We've already had Resistance is Futile, and we're getting Q Continuum.
But from then on, it's going to be 9 months of
episodes. That's what we're getting for 2015. Everything else is episodic.
which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
It's easier to get people into the tournaments if they're not starting already behind.
Yeah. I think for 2016, it's just going to be 1. And I I'd wager that we won't see a 6-month OP. I'd say that if they're going to do something long, it's probably 4 or 5 months is what they're seeming to say, because that's what they've been doing for Dice Masters. Is 5 is now their new definition of long.
Gotcha.
And even while they're doing 5, they're also doing a bunch of one-offs during that time span. So that's just a little change. I found that interesting. I tend to like the episodic ones. I think that it's easier for communities to run those.
Mhm.
I mean, I like the continuity of, hey, we're doing this and it's nice to track stuff. But it's also tough when somebody can't make it to one event, because it basically means that they can't win an overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a serious problem of the rich get richer in storyline OPs.
Yeah. So, and it kind of, stores have problems with diminishing player base. You know, we saw that in Dominion War. I think OP6 was probably one of the worst attended across the board. And WizKids listened. But yeah, the president of WizKids was at that event, and apparently he gave out his cell number to all the store owners there in an effort to curtail like all the OP kits being sold on eBay. So that was interesting.
I was going to be more against that from a matter of perspective, but since there are no more OPs near me, that might be the only way for me to get these things.
Yeah.
They're all gone now?
Yep. All 3 of our venues are up and dried up.
Welcome.
Everyone has gone back to X-Wing.
Welcome to my life.
I was trying to find the pictures of Gamma, but I'm not finding them, unfortunately. But that's okay.
But yeah. The Krenim time ship is one of the really cool models. I know that. So
so go ahead and check those out. I know there's definitely some links in the other Star Trek Attack Wing communities on Facebook. Both the Trek Talking guys and the actual community.
Yeah, I think I gave Trek Talking their link, so.
And so you can see some of those pictures for yourself. Let me see if I can actually find one of those. It takes too long. You will find it. I will link to it on Facebook if I find it after the show, and it'll be good and it'll be happy. Anything else happening in the last week or two, or coming up soon?
Oh, sorry. And they also said that they are happy with the way that the game's going, and they are planning on continuing to support the game with more waves of ships beyond what they've already announced. They're just
WizKids official rules forum is the best innovation ever, and players love it.
No, they didn't talk about that.
No, this is a Star Trek. This is a joke for the people out here who play Star on Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
I'll explain later.
Everything's happy. Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool.
Nothing's wrong. There's nothing wrong here. Move along.
Nothing to see here, folks. Move along.
All right. I think with that, there's nothing more to see here on this episode. That's probably a terrible way to end things. You guys got to come back next week because we're going to have more new stuff. We'll probably finally start taking a look at peak performance or more nationals things. We'll get back to our top 5s. Next week is what? Top 5 talents, guys?
Yep.
How talented. We're having a talent show next week. That's how this is going down. But yes, until next time then, guys, hope you have found something cool and informative. Buy more ships than you need to because this is going to be awesome and you're going to want to run it at Nationals if you're going. Other than that, thank you all for watching. Enjoy, and until next time, may Q be generous with your dice. Thanks, everybody.
State of the Federation is a production of Will S. in association with Tucker C. and David M. We are not associated or affiliated with WizKids games, and except where specified, WizKids did not endorse or approve any of our podcasts. All copyrights are copyright of their respective rights holders.